3rd September 2022. Morning Murli, Shanti, BapDada, Madhuban. Sweet children, your bodies are not guaranteed. Therefore, whatever auspicious task you want to perform, do it today. Don't leave it till tomorrow. Question: what is the way to make everything of yours successful? That is, to become prosperous. Answer: make shivbaba your heir, means child, and he will make you prosperous for 21 births. He is the only one who becomes everyone's child and makes everything successful for everyone. However, some are afraid. They think that they will perhaps have to give away everything they have. Baba says there is no question of being afraid. Continue to look after your children, etc. Sustain them, but remember this child, and he will make you prosperous. If you surrender yourselves to this child, he will serve you a great deal. Shanti. At this time, all the children sitting at the centers definitely understand that they are listening to the elevated versions of shivbaba. There isn't another organization like this one. Those ones too have many branches, and they would also record tapes, etc., where they have their head office, where their guru would live and they would be remembering him. No one apart from you would be remembering the incorporeal Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. The paralaukic Father only comes at this confluence age. He sits here and gives you children his introduction, and the intellects of your children develop faith and have this intoxication. The Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul speaks the Murli at this time. It is mentioned in the scriptures that Krishna played a flute, means Murli, in Madhuban. Madhuban is the one main place, and the Murlis are sent everywhere from here. It is in people's intellects that Krishna plays a flute, means Murli. It can never enter anyone's intellect that shivbaba speaks the Murli. No one knows that wherever your centers open, everyone there understands that shivbaba plays the Murli through Brahma, which is then heard by all the Ganges of knowledge, and it is then related to others. Their intellects remember shivbaba. Shivbaba is called God. It is not mentioned in any scripture that shivbaba speaks the Murli. No matter where your children are, you understand that the Murli you receive is shivbaba's Murli. No one apart from shivbaba can teach this. The Father himself says, remember me and I will give you the inheritance. Baba continues to tell you children, constantly remember me alone. Don't remember anyone else's name or form. You have been collecting photos of corporeal beings for birth after birth. You have also been saying special prayers, means upasana, etc. You have now stopped keeping pictures of the deities, etc. Souls on the path of devotion remembered the Father. Only when they became body conscious do they remember bodies. The Father repeatedly says, consider yourselves to be souls and continue to remember the Father. It is souls that have become impure and unhappy. The soul says, I was an emperor and I have now become a pauper. You have now remembered that you are Baba's children. We received our inheritance from the Father. The Father now says, give everyone the Father's introduction. There is no other task as auspicious as this. You shouldn't delay doing this auspicious task. Bodies are not guaranteed, neither young ones nor old ones. Therefore, whatever you want to do that today. When you say today or tomorrow, death will eat you up. The Father has opened such a big hospital cum university through which you receive health, wealth and happiness. If you have health and wealth, you are happy anyway. If a person has a body free from disease and has wealth, he is happy. Therefore, the father says whoever wants to perform an auspicious task, do it now. Simply take 3 feet of land and open this hospital. Give everyone the father's introduction. The father is the creator of heaven, and so you should definitely receive the inheritance of heaven from him. The people of Bharat did receive the inheritance. The people of Bharat would easily be able to understand these things. They have built temples in their search for God. Those of the Arya Samaj don't believe in the deities. This is why they believe that all of those pictures that have been created are false. There will continue to be many obstacles. It is very easy to explain this. The father's orders are, engage yourselves to me quickly. Only by engaging yourselves to me can you claim a right to the inheritance. The father is the spiritual surgeon. You are called his children, and so you too are all surgeons. You definitely have to give the injection of knowledge to souls. Man Manabhav. This is the biggest injection of all. All of your sorrow is removed by having remembrance of Baba. You become charitable souls by having yoga. Yoga is the only medicine. When a son is born and goes into his father's lap, he becomes a master of the inheritance. You now know that you are claiming your inheritance from the unlimited Father by having remembrance. It is in remembrance that there are many types of obstacles. This is why you have to continue to make your remembrance firm. Simply take 3 feet of land and open this hospital. This is 3 feet of land, is it not? Otherwise, for such an important college, you would need 50 to 60 acres of land where people can come and study and take the injection of knowledge. It is remembered that they didn't even have 3 feet of land, and yet they became the masters of the world. You are becoming the masters of the world, are you not? To have 3 feet of land is not a big thing. It will then gradually continue to grow. After the foundation was laid, so many centers were then opened. So many changed from shells into diamonds. Those who do this then experience a lot of benefit. Hospitals and colleges are open for the benefit of many others. It is the same here. Put up a boards outside, clinic for health and wealth for 21 births. In Hindi, it would be said, clinic for 100% purity, peace and happiness. However, some children don't have any interest in doing service. The web of family and relatives is said to be like a spider's web. They themselves become trapped in the web. The father comes and removes you from the spider's web of Ravan. This would not be said of the golden age. Here too, people create their own web and die in it. This is Ravan's kingdom. Ravan's web is so big that it is over the whole world. All are sitting in the cottage of sorrow. All sages and holy men are trapped in Ravan's web. The father says, now forget all of them. Have the faith that you are souls and continue to show everyone this path. No one else can tell you the secret of the world cycle. The father says, renounce all of them and constantly remember me alone. Only by having remembrance will all your sins will be absolved. You mustn't delay in carrying out an auspicious task. They also give an example of how by delaying a task, a person dies before being able to carry it out. Then, when that soul is invited to take the bhog that is offered to him, he cries a great deal. It is then said, look, you postpone everything while you were saying today or tomorrow. Death ate you up. You are then not able to take knowledge. Such complaints are then made. Many children think, okay, I will do this tomorrow, but then they die. This is why it is explained that you have to renounce attachment. Worldly relatives are not going to benefit you. Shivbaba has now become your child. He says, make me your heir and I will serve you a great deal. This is why Baba asks, how many children do you have? If you make me Shivbaba, your child, you will become very prosperous for 21 births. A Kumari goes to her home. They are so anxious to have a son. If someone doesn't have a son, he sometimes gets married 2 or 3 times. The father says, your physical children will not serve you at all. This one becomes your real child. He makes everything of all of you successful. However, some people are afraid that they will have to give away everything they have. What will happen? The father says, you have to look after your children, etc. But you have to remember this child. This one will make you prosperous. People go to the temple at Kashi and sacrifice themselves. They believe that by sacrificing themselves to Shiv, they will receive liberation in life. In fact, that applies here. They have attributed something of one time period to another. If you surrender yourselves to that child, he will serve you a great deal. He will give you a palace in heaven. Those sons will not do anything for you. At the most, they will feed a Brahmin priest. Whatever people donate and whatever charity they perform, they do it for themselves. Therefore, to open this hospital, etc., it's such a great charity. Wealthy people can open 10 to 15 hospitals. All their wealth, etc., will also be destroyed. You can rent a building and open 50 hospitals with just 15,000 rupees. They will then be able to sustain themselves. The father is showing you such easy ways to do service. Go to the banks of the Ganges and serve everyone there. Stick Baba's introduction on your back on a piece of paper. People will read it by themselves. Renounce body consciousness. If a wealthy person does this, people would say, wonderful, that one doesn't have any body consciousness at all. You have to give the Father's introduction. The Father is the creator of heaven. And so, why are we sitting in hell? The Father has now come and he says, renounce all bodily relations and remember me alone. How did Bharat become hell from heaven? How did Lakshmi and Narayan take 84 births? Come and we shall tell you this story. Then so many people would gather together. People consider the river Ganges and the river Jamuna to be the purifier. If the Ganges is the purifier, then at least decide between the two. Your children have now understood the drama, and so you have to explain the others. If you don't enlighten others, who would say that your intellects are enlightened? If a surgeon is unable to give an injection, who would call him a surgeon? Your children have been completely enlightened. You have the secrets of 84 births in your intellects. You know this drama and the acts of the actors. The act of the Father is the highest of all. He plays his part with the children. You are making Bharat into heaven, but you are incognito. This is the incognito, non-violent Shiv Shakti army. Everything of theirs is physical. So many people go to a Kumbh Melas. Here you have nothing physical. You are on your pilgrimage while sitting, standing and moving around. You are becoming pure by having remembrance. Baba says continue to remember Shivbaba while performing actions. They say that God is in everyone. So there is a difference. The Father says, wherever you sit, remember me. You then also have to do service. So many devotees goes to the temples. Simply put this picture on your back and continue to give the Father's introduction. He shows you many methods. Go to the cremation ground and explain there. Explain the praise of the incorporeal Father and the praise of Sri Krishna and ask, now tell me who the God of the Gita is. You should also have pictures with you. You can do a lot of service with them. If a female does this or a Kumari does this, it is her great fortune. Kumaris are the best of all. Kanaya means the father of the Kumaris, is the incorporeal one. Kanaya was not Krishna, but the father. The father is concerned about how to teach your children. According to the drama, I explained it in the same way in the previous cycle, and I am also explaining again today. Therefore, you too should become sticks for the blind. The children who receive the introduction also bring others, that to accumulate charity. Each of you should keep an account with yourself. Whatever you do, you will receive the fruit of that. If you bring others, they too can experience a lot of benefit. Your children should pay a lot of attention to this business. What would you receive if you don't do service? Service, service and service. You even say that you are on God's service. You can also serve everyone at home. The Father teaches you, never allow your children to enlarge in vice. If they don't obey you, then they are disobedient. If you give them money and they use it to commit sin, then that sin is accumulated on your head. Baba advises you, but there are many who do something and then tell the Father about it. He shows you children many different ways of doing service. You children only have to do this business. Continue to do the service on trains too, and the Father will be pleased, and you will also receive the inheritance of constant happiness for your future 21 births. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the mother, the father, BapDada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children. The spiritual children says Namaste and good morning to the spiritual father. Essence for the dharana. First point, Maya has woven a very big web. Therefore, remove yourself from that web by remembering the Father. Engage yourself in carrying out an auspicious task. Don't trap yourself in the web of any bodily being. Remove your attachment from everyone. Second point, give others the enlightenment of knowledge that you have received. Renounce body consciousness and do service in many different ways. Become a stick for the blind. Blessing. May you be loving to all and have soul-conscious feelings for everyone and finish all other types of feelings. Explanation. When you are body conscious, many types of feelings can arise. Sometimes you will find someone good and sometimes you will find someone not so good. By seeing others in their soul form, you will have spiritual love for them. By having soul-conscious feelings, soul-conscious vision, and a soul-conscious attitude, you will be extremely detached and loving as you form relationship with everyone. So while walking and moving around, practice I am a soul. And by doing this, all the many types of feelings and nature will finish and you will automatically be loved by all. Slogan. Those who have wings of zeal and enthusiasm attain success easily. Om Shanti